All right. It's been a long night. Let me see. Flag still flying. Still outside of City Hall. Flag still flying. We still outside of City Hall. And I just want to keep reiterating the same things that I done spoken reiterated before. For 4 months in this city, people been protesting, doing demonstrations, getting arrested, all speaking out against police brutality and police violence in the Rockford Police Department and in the Winnebago County Sheriff Department that goes on in this community on a regular basis. A daily basis. That's what people have been protesting about for 4 months. What happened to George Floyd was a tragedy. What happened to Breonna Taylor was a tragedy. But those things that have been happening in Rockford on a regular basis. Those things have been happening in Winnebago County on a regular basis. So even though those things may have been a catalyst to some of these protests, we were protesting about things that's issues in this city. The first week after we stopped being out of City Market, a police officer is involved in a high-speed chase in which he shoots somebody in the back in the middle of rush hour, broad daylight, unarmed. It's been we almost coming up on 48 full hours. The most of a statement we done got from the mayor of the city is just a press release. He ain't fielded no questions from the press. He has not had no press conference. He has not released a video speaking on these issues. He did not condemn the fact that this man was shot in the back. I want people to go back and watch the way that the mayor of this city and that people in this city, NAACP president, different people in organizations, different preachers, whoever it is, go back 4 months ago to the day that George Floyd was killed, and you go see what their reactions is to that, and then see if they'd have made a reaction and said something about what happened here in Rockford. You go back to see what the mayor's reaction was about Jacob Blake, and you go to see what the reaction was for people in the NAACP or the Rockford Youth in Action or any of the Minister Fellowship, any of these people. You go back and see what their reactions was after that happened, after Jacob Blake happened. And then you see what their reactions is to this and what they done said about this. It's the same thing. It's the same thing that we've been speaking about on a constant basis. You don't pick and choose when you want justice for people. You don't pick and choose when you want things to be done the right way. I'm very, very, very aware of the climate of the city. I'm very, very aware of the things that go on in this city. But this is what the truth of the matter is, and the only part of the facts that matter in this situation is that a police officer shot somebody in their back that did not have a weapon, that was running away, and nobody has been held accountable. The name of the officer has not been released by the Rockford Police Department. The name of the officer has not been said and spoken by the mayor. We don't know if this officer is still on duty. For all we know, this officer could be getting ready to be in a cruiser tomorrow, Monday, at 9 o'clock, getting ready to shoot somebody else's son, somebody else's nephew in the back. As long as things like this are allowed to happen and there's no repercussion and there's no accountability, every day that passes is another day that get closer to being your son that gets shot in the back, to being your nephew, to being your boyfriend, to being your baby daddy that gets shot in the back by these police officers. And we all know, anybody that's from this city know how they've been calling themselves having a crackdown on crime over these past couple of months. And you see each time they do a press conference, they done did 2 press conferences where the chief of police come out next to the state's attorney, and they use these dog whistle words, and they use this coded language, and they speak about how they cracking down on crime. And each time after it done happened, some kind of tragedy done took place in the community afterwards, or some kind of injustice done took place in the community afterwards. And this is the truth of the matter. If you allow them to shoot this young man in the back, and you do not hold them accountable, and you do not make them be completely transparent, and you let them pawn it out on this BS Winnebago Boone County Task Force, that is going to make them more emboldened and make them more likely to shoot another young man in the back, to shoot another unarmed person in the back. Each time that they do things like this, that they murder somebody, that they shoot and attempt to murder somebody in this city, because that's what that is. You shoot at somebody however many times. It's been, again, it's varying reports. We still don't even got no concrete reports of what happened. You shoot at somebody and you shoot them in the back multiple times, that was shooting to kill. And that officer need to be charged with attempted murder. The same way that a citizen would be charged with attempted murder, the same way that me or you would be charged with attempted murder, that officer needs to be charged with attempted murder. He needs to be off the force immediately. He do not need to get in no paid leave. The same way if me or you would have to bail out if something like this happened, he need to be put in jail, need to have to make bail and bail out. He need to get the proper amount of bail put onto him. And these police officers are supposed to be the standard bearers in the city. That's how they speak. And then this go again to tell you about the nature and the atmosphere and the culture in the city. On Friday, the Rockford Police Department had an officer shoot somebody in their back multiple times that didn't have no weapon. And then on Saturday, this city hosted a Back the Blue rally. Where's the alderman speaking out about this? Where's Bill Rose speaking out about this? And I say Bill Rose specifically because I seen Bill Rose putting up Black Lives Matter next to his profile avatar. Where's the rest of these aldermen speaking out about this issue? Only two things matter. He was shot in his back and he was unarmed. That's it. Everything else is secondary. Everything else is secondary. And these police officers are used to moving with impunity and moving like Nazis and not being held accountable for none of their actions. Again, I'm out here we out here at City Hall. It's more people out here tonight than it was last night. If accountability is not given out, it will be more people out here tomorrow night than it was tonight. This is a public space. It's time for this city to clean up the act and to clean up its act and to clean up its police department and to clean up that Winnebago County Sheriff Department. Because the Winnebago County Sheriff Department is just as dirty as this police department is. The state's attorney office is just as dirty as this police department is. And these elected officials, how quiet that they've been, and the lack of accountability that they done made these officers be held up to, goes to show that they are either just as dirty as the police department, the state's attorney office, and the Winnebago County Sheriff Department, or that they are inept beyond belief. And that they are ignorant beyond belief, and it's a willful ignorance. Again, we will be out here outside of City Hall. We will be out here outside of City Hall until the mayor has a press conference in which he takes questions from the media, in which he in which he speaks on the continued police brutality that has run rampant in this city for the last 4 months, and until he releases officially the name of the officer who shot an unarmed man in the back 2 times, multiple times. Again, that's why the mayor needs to come out with a statement, because there's too many conflicting stories. Did the officer give a statement on what happened on Friday and get it in paperwork and get it in writing and get that documented? Or is this officer still cooking up a story that he gonna give on Monday? Was his gun and badge taken from him? Was he relieved of his duty after he did this? Was his fellow officers out there cleaning up the crime scene? Was his fellow officers out there trying to influence witnesses, if it is any? These are things that the mayor and that elected officials in the city need to be making sure that they have understanding of and that they have knowledge of. It is clear based off the actions that these cops have done at City Market for the past 2.5 2 months that it is no integrity within them. The chairman of the Integrity Task Force, I got firsthand accounts that he lacks integrity. The Winnebago Boone Integrity Task Force, that's police, and police. That's cops, copping cops. And we done seen what that get us. We seen what that got us on May 30th when it's videos of people being beat, videos of people being tased with their hands up, videos of people being assaulted by these officers, pepper sprayed by these officers, pictures, firsthand accounts of these things. And then the deputy chief of police gonna come out and say that everything was within policy. And the mayor gonna stand next to him and say everything was within policy. And then people in this community gonna put Black Lives Matter flags up, put Black Lives Matter shirts up, put Black Lives Matter signs up. But when a black issue pop up, it's not the way that they want it. It ain't clean and neat how they want it to be. And that's the problem. That's the problem. Because what they want is they want you to have, they want it to be Emmett Till. They want it to be some kind of sacrifice. They want some kind of black sacrifice. And that's not what this is about. They don't get that from us. They don't get to decide what the person who is victimized by police brutality, what they past is like. They don't get to decide that. They don't get to decide that, well, if they got warrants, then it's okay. They don't get to decide that. I seen that it was a high-speed chase today with a white man involved in it. That white man was not shot. That white man was, I don't know if he was brought in or not, but I know that he wasn't shot. It needs to be justice delivered swiftly. It needs to be accountability delivered swiftly. And after they give accountability and give justice for these actions, they need to go and retroactively go back and give justice to the people who done been out there at City Market, telling them about these issues. There's people facing felony charges, facing time in prison because they've been going out trying to tell the mayor of the city, trying to tell elected officials in the city that these cops is dirty. They've been forging paperwork on City Market, on the City Market demonstrators, forging paperwork up. And now they want us to expect that the paperwork they're going to give about this police shooting is going to be correct. I highly doubt it. Before they even get the chance to try to dirty this up, before they even get the chance to try to sway public opinion, because there's already things that they've been doing that's been done. The city officials and the elected officials need to let the police department know that these actions won't stand. Let the sheriff's department know that in this city that these actions won't stand. We outside.